BetOnline is your number one source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts. And welcome back to another episode of Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club. I am the Corey C. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast. We're everywhere: YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your
podcast.
but we do not want you to miss an episode. Got a lot of fire episodes coming up. So follow the show and tell every Tiger that you know. We appreciate your support. And remember, it all helps the cause, which is the I Love Jackson State University. And we are back with another member of the 2023 Jackson State University football signing class, tight end Sebastien St. Louis. Welcome to Tiger
Yes,
Talk with
sir.
1400 Club.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you having me. Excited to be here.
All right, man. My pleasure. My pleasure. How's life?
And life is good. Fall camp just got done. That was a grind. Obviously, a different experience. From high school to college, but it was a good experience. Got through it, got better from it. So, ready for the season.
And I want to talk about that experience in high school because you come from an area where it's action packed, full of talent. So I do want to talk about that transition. Y'all know you're used to the grind and going up against competition every single day in practice, probably, and
Yes,
definitely every
sir.
single Friday night. So we want to talk about that. But first, introduce yourself. Tell us where you're from, hometown. I kind of hinted at, you coming from a place where it's a lot of talent, but specifically where
Yes,
you're
sir.
from, the high school, and of course your position.
So, tight end from Boca Raton, Florida. That's the hometown. That's where I went to Boca High School. So, Boca Raton, Florida is where I come from.
Man, Florida, definitely, that adjustment coming from, especially Boca, beautiful area. I used to live down there.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
South Florida, I was down between Miami and Fort Lauderdale, so I know it's a little bit different being in
Yes, sir.
Jackson. But talk about that adjustment and what it's been like.
I mean, I graduated on May 21st. I was here by May 29th, so it was a quick
Wow.
turnaround. But I mean, it's time to grow up as a man sport. So I mean, that's what I kind of had to do. Just push myself towards manhood, and
Hmm.
understanding that, like I'm an investment. So I got to return that investment back with hard work and dedication. So that's what it's been like for me.
Absolutely, man. So wasted little time, had to, grow up fast and get away from home. So what
Yes,
is it
sir.
like being in Jackson and being away from home for the first time? I would assume, I don't know, for the first time for an extended period of time.
Yes, for the first time. I mean, it's been like I said, it's been a great experience. Obviously working out with the team as soon as I got here, and with school starting, I'm starting to see a little bit of that HBCU experience. So I mean, that's picking up. So I'm just excited. It's a learning process. I'm just trying to absorb it all.
Mhm. And with that HBCU experience, had you had much familiarity with HBCUs prior to signing with Jackson State? We'll get into the specifics of you signing, but just prior to that, what did you know anything about HBCUs?
I mean, just from what everyone knows, it's rich in culture. I mean, my parents both went to PWIs. I'm the first one to go to my HBCU in my family, so obviously the culture what really sticks out to me. But like I said, I'm gonna continue to learn and just go with the flow.
Hmm. All right. So as I was saying earlier, man, a lot of talent in Florida. That is a primary target for recruiting for a lot of college football coaches. So what do you
Yes,
remember
sir.
the most about high school football in Florida, and especially that competition level?
Like everyone remembers from high school, you just waiting for Friday night, you waiting for that kickoff, you hear the band playing, you looking at that guy across the field, and you just ready to, compete, plan and play out. So I mean, that's what I remember the most, just competing. I like to win, so just competing. I love competing.
All right, and of course you're a tight end, but in high school, I would imagine you were probably one of the best athletes, best players on the field. So, what all positions did you play throughout your high school career?
Initially I started playing basketball, so that was my first
Okay,
sport. But coming to
absolutely.
football, I started out, playing receiver, and then I just kind of started mixing it up, playing slot, outside, putting my hand in the dirt and just being versatile in our offense.
And what was it that ultimately caused you to kind of settle in at tight end? Was it more of a size thing? You had more of a mismatch or an advantage, or you just fit in better at tight end?
I just think it's a better fit for me the way I'm built, and I think going forward, the frame I have to fill that frame out. I think that I'm obviously a freshman now, but as I get older and continue to put on weight, I think that with that being said, I think the position of tight end fits that better.
Hmm. So talk about your recruitment. Do you remember when schools first started recruiting you?
They first started recruit. I mean, school first started recruiting me my sophomore year. That was my first year playing. And then of course, like my mentality is like junior year. That's when recruiting really starts heating up. So I mean, after my junior season, I started to see that pick up. Started talking to schools, and then got my first offer, and then just went from there. But I mean, recruiting is crazy, but I really believe that I was meant to be at Jackson State. So
Oh yeah,
happy to
you're in
be
the right
here.
place. You're in the right place.
Yes,
No,
sir.
no doubt about that. We are
Yes,
sure, we are
sir.
certain of that. But what are some of the schools that did kind of show the most interest when it came down to it?
Also, I had offers. Some of the schools I had offered from were Navy, Brown, Bowling Green, Eastern Illinois. So I was really looking to go to Navy, but I mean, when Jackson State came into the picture, I mean, I just thought it was a better overall fit for me.
Wow. So how did Jackson State come into the picture? How did they get in the mix?
So I mean, I was just working out. I still had it. I didn't commit till late, but I was working out, just posting videos on Twitter. Just understanding that eventually I was going to find the right home, and eventually one of my trainers I was working with, they gave him a call and he told me, and from there it was pretty much I was pretty much set on it. So it happened.
Which coach or which coaches were you communicating with the most from Jackson State?
So I was communicating with Coach O, of course, tight ends coach, assistant head coach. I was communicating with him the most.
Hmm. So once those conversations started and you started to learn about Jackson State, what kind of caught your attention at first during that recruitment?
During the recruitment, I just was like, they're the two-time defending back-to-back SWAC champions, and of course, I want to come be a part of that. And
Hmm.
that's just the mentality that we have here. Like, it's ours until somebody takes it. And right now, we don't plan on anybody taking it from us. We plan on coming in for a third time. So I mean, just that championship culture.
Absolutely. And I know you went on a visit. I've seen some of the pictures. So talk about that visit.
That visit, just from the time I landed and I was getting a call from one of the drivers, I mean, I knew it was legit. I was just excited. Like I said, like just learning. Learning is a big thing I'm just going through now. Obviously, like coming from high school, you think, being a senior, you think you know a lot, and then you come and you're a freshman. So, it's just a lot of learning. So I just was, taking it all in, just being in the locker room the day of the spring game and just seeing that atmosphere, guys playing ping pong, guys playing
Mhm.
Xbox, and, just you feel that good vibe. And, that's what my visit was like. That's what I remember the most.
Okay, so you got to come for the spring game and kind of
Yes, sir.
partially experience the vet. I know you know that's not, or at least
Yeah.
you've heard that's not the full experience. We just wanted to
Yes,
give you a
sir.
little.
I'm looking forward to it though.
Okay, we didn't want to give you too much, but have you seen videos of the vet like on the pack
I,
Saturday?
I've seen videos. I was in there obviously for the spring game, but come Saturdays in the fall, I know that's going to be a different environment. So
Hmm.
that's something to look forward to.
Okay, so you talked about playing ping pong and I think Madden. So talk about your time spent in the facility, brand new facility. That's a big recruiting tool. So what was the experience like when you were kind of visiting the facility?
So just walking in there, you see it's just vibrant in there. You're just like, oh, like it kind of just hits you, and you're just like, this is a place like you can see yourself spending a lot of time in. Got the couches for guys to just chill, and you see like guys just you got the pool table. I forgot I even mentioned that the pool table.
Yeah.
Guys just guys just having a good time, and sometimes like away from football, like just to be at the facility and just you're hanging out with the guys, the brothers, like it's just good to see that.
Yeah, and I've been over there several times visiting, and what I've noticed, it seems like when it's time to quote unquote leave, or when you're done with your meetings and done with practice, I see guys still hanging out because
Oh yeah,
even
oh 100
yeah,
100%, 100%,
yeah,
100%.
absolutely.
Sometimes we got to get. Sometimes they have to force us to leave, but yeah,
Uh-huh.
that's a
Hmm.
place that we definitely spend a lot of time in there, and just so we can enjoy ourselves and kick back a little bit.
Hmm. So when it came down to it, what sealed the deal for you when it came to signing with Jackson State?
Just talking to Coach O and Coach TC, and the goal was just to keep winning and get another championship, and I was like, that's something I want to be a part of, So that pretty
Mhm.
much sealed the deal for me.
Mhm. Now you mentioned that you committed late, and I say late just kind of compared to some of the other signees throughout college,
Yes,
not
sir.
just Jackson State, because we're talking about in April, which is over 2 months after National Signing Day. So was
Yes,
that
sir.
intentional? Were you waiting, or just kind of talk us through that decision to hold off on signing?
I mean, I was kind of waiting, throughout my recruiting process. I thought, in my heart, I would just get that click. And, I came close to that with Navy, but then their coach got fired and, things just weren't certain for me anymore. And I'm like, look, if I'm going to work, I got to like the guys I'm going to work to. And that was something I'm big on, like, that relationship with the coaching staff. So I was just kind of waiting. And then when Jackson State came and just talking to Coach O and Coach TC, like, I knew, like, go out, I can go to work with them. I can, they're gonna coach me hard, and that's something that I wanted to. So I mean, that's kind of how the timing of my recruiting, happened.
Hmm. And when you committed, I noticed you shouted out your mom, your dad, and your sisters on Twitter in that commitment tweet. So talk about your family dynamic and how much having their support means to you.
I mean, that support is everything. Yeah, my dad is pretty much my agent. My mom is my nutritionist. That those prayers, unconditional love, and then my sisters are my two biggest fans. Like they're both younger than me. My older sister, I know she'll go to war for me, and my little
Hmm.
sister, she's supporting me any way I can. So I mean, like they really are my strength. As cringy as it is to say that, but like I really started to experience that through sports and even from my basketball days. So like I can't say enough about them, to be honest with you.
Hmm. And who was your roommate? That's not Quay, is it? Who is that?
That is Quay. Yeah, I know you just had him. That is Quay. Yes, sir.
What's up, Quay?
Quay, he said, "What's up?" He said, "What's up?"
All right, man. So yeah, you talk about the support of your family, but what about the support of the Jackson State fans? I know we're a rabid, passionate fan base. So what
Yes,
has
sir.
that support been like from the day that you committed up until now?
Yeah, from the day I committed, as soon as I put it on Twitter and on Instagram, I just, I could just feel that love, and I could feel like that pride, that sense of pride that Jackson State fans have, and we have as a team, we have an obligation to uphold that pride, and that's what we plan on doing this season. So I definitely felt that love and that pride that Jackson State fans have.
Hmm. What has it been like getting to know your new teammates? Because those are your brothers, man, for the next 3, 4, 5 years. So what has
Yes,
that
sir.
process been like?
I mean, it's been a good experience. It's like being a little brother. They get on you, but at the end of the day, when you're learning that playbook, like that's who you have. You're gonna have the coaches, of course, but they helped me learn the playbook, and just again adjusted to college life and just this whole atmosphere and this transition in my life.
Yeah, so you talk about being that little brother. I want to get your impression of one guy specifically, Mr. DJ Stevens. Obviously, he's in that tight end room. Just being
Yes,
able to
sir.
learn from him. He's the best. He's the best in
Oh yeah,
HBCU football
100%.
and one of
Yes,
the best
sir.
in FCS football. So a guy who's looking to play at the next level. So talk about him.
Yes, sir. So I mean, DJ, he's a guy that leading by example is what I think of when it comes to DJ doing things the right way. Coach TC talks about that, and he's really put the work in, and it's been a process with him. So all I can really do from him, and I think the best thing to do is just watch how he carries himself, watch how he practices and all that good stuff, watch how he lifts, and he leads by example. He's not gonna do anything that he himself wouldn't do. So that's what I take away from DJ.
Yeah, and not just him. I mean, you guys have a really talented tight end room, Jency Riley, Hayden Hagler.
Yes,
So a
sir.
lot of versatility there. So talk about just being in the room itself and learning from those guys.
So I think, obviously you just named three talented guys and they're all different in their own way. Jency, like, he kind sometimes we're tense, like Jency's gonna get you to laugh, he's gonna
Hmm.
crack a joke. And sometimes, you need that because what we're doing, like it could be stressful at times. So sometimes you need that guy who's just going, get on people with just crack jokes. And you have Hayden, he's been great support for me and just really helping me learn the offense. So it's been good being in that room, and obviously the two other freshman tight ends, Jace and
Yeah.
Scoop. So we're a young class, but you were young and old, but it's just amazing being in that room.
Hmm. And then once you get outside of that tight end room, give me one position group, offense or defense, that has impressed you the most that you think will be one of the strengths of the team. So it's a position group.
Also, definitely, of course, I play tight end, so we're blocking for the running backs, but the running back room has been impressive in my opinion. I think that those guys are going to be explosive for us this season, so definitely been good working with them and kind of understanding the run game and where they're supposed to go and that helps me to understand where I'm blocking and the leverage and all that good stuff. So the running back room has definitely been impressive.
Awesome, man. That's good to hear. I know that's a concern, quote unquote, for some of the fans. Lost some talent in that running back room. Of course, JD's coming back, and then a lot
Yes,
of
sir.
new faces for us at least. Irv Mulligan, and then
Yes,
of course
sir.
we have a freshman making a name for himself. We're talking about that freshman class of Mob Miller, and there's some couple guys. I'm
Yes,
not
sir.
going to start naming everybody, Moultrie,
Yeah.
right? But definitely a talented group. So I'm glad to hear that from you. But I
Yes,
want to
sir.
talk about just the freshman group of wide receivers, man. Talented group, the two
Facts.
Isaiahs. We have Lester Miller, Mike Williams. I'm going to throw you in there as well, just as a pass catcher. So, how good can that group be? Because I'm excited to see you for the next 3, 4, 5 years together. Just grow.
Yes, sir. I mean, we think we're the best freshman class. Yeah, not even just the receivers and just in general, we think we're the best freshman class in the swag. So I mean,
Hmm.
we talk about that receiver room. I think the word that comes to mind is explosive, and that's one of our goals as an offense to be explosive. And when you talk about the two Isaiahs, all those guys, like they're explosive athletes. Good route runners, great hands. So that's what comes to mind, and that's what sticks out on the field. And you can't argue with that.
hmm Yeah. So you mentioned Coach O a couple times, so we got to touch on him. You're, of course, your position coach. Well, I'm sure you know. I was gonna say I don't know if you noticed or not, but he is the man. He won't tell you
Oh,
that himself, but I'm pretty sure you realized it quick. Just Jackson, because he's a Jackson guy, born and raised, played
yes,
high
sir.
school football there, and then came back to coach at Jackson State. Been here for years, coached in different capacities, but now really just elevating under his buddy, his boy, Coach TC, and he's been
Yes,
invited
sir.
to a number of different things. Most recently, he was out there with the 49ers. So just what
Yeah.
has it been like being under his tutelage?
So just being under him, the one thing that I've learned from him. I've had coaches who are hard on me, and one thing about Coach O is like he really believes in us and every single person in that tight end room. So, like that self doubt, there's no room for that. He believes that we're all here for a reason. He believes in our abilities. So having a coach that fully has your back like that, like it's inspiring to play for that, and then it just makes you want to play harder and really think about your technique and your assignment, all that good stuff. So when Coach O just, I know he has my back and has every back of he has the backs of all the tight ends. So it's just
Mhm.
great knowing that you have a guy like that behind you.
And not only him having your back as your position coach, but also your offense coordinator, Coach Harris. He always talks about how important that tight end position is in his offense. So, what has it been like playing in that offense as a tight end?
Yes, sir. So playing in that offense, Coach Harris, we were talking about the other day, like one play for, the entire offense for tight ends could mean like three different things depending on, alignment and what defense we see. So, I mean, it's definitely an important position for us as and our offense. And, Coach Harris, does a great job of breaking all those things down for us and really helping us, develop our IQ for the game. So it's been great, playing in his offense.
Mhm. And when you talk about how complex it is and having the multiple or different things within the offense for the tight end on even one given play, talk about the difference in that high school playbook compared to this college playbook that you have to learn.
Man, so got here the first day we got here, we started going over the installs and just learning that offense, and it's just massive compared to high school. But with that, I've had to learn to dedicate more time to my playbook and really break everything down. And even so, with fall camp being done, like there's still like little like little cleanups and little you can never be. We're chasing perfection, so you can always continue to understand. So learning the offense for me at first, it was a struggle, but I started, catching along and learn, like I said, learning by example, just watching the older guys and seeing them be able to execute the offense really helped me. So now I feel comfortable in that offense now.
Mhm. And last but not least, in terms of your coaches, we got to talk about the head man, Coach TC. What has it been like being under him so far?
So being under him, like I said, like we don't plan on giving that, two-time defending SWAC champs. I don't have one yet, but
Okay.
I plan on getting one this season. That's the mentality. Like there's no slow. This ship is still rolling. So Coach TC has been great, and he believes in us too. Like it's just he believes in us, and this season we're ready to show why he believes in us. So
Mhm.
can't say enough about that.
Right, you keep talking about that three-peat, which would be the first for you. So, in order to three-peat, in order to win that SWAC championship, it starts. Now, I know it starts in Atlanta. We're not overlooking our first opponent, but I'm talking about the conference schedule, right? The games that are going to determine whether or not you win the SWAC championship. Because we expect to go to Atlanta and dominate. Let's just say that we expect to win, right?
Yes,
But
sir.
let's talk. Let's fast forward to Miami. I want to talk about that for two reasons. Number one, FAMU has always been, along with Jackson State, the past couple years, the winner of that game. Ultimately, that determined who would represent the East in the championship game,
Yes,
SWAC
sir.
championship, and we don't expect it to be any different this season.
Yes,
And then
sir.
the other reason I want to talk about it is because it's right down the street. That's what, like
Yeah,
30-40 minute drive. So that's a
third.
huge win
Yeah.
for all of us, but especially for you. So talk about just looking ahead to that game.
So looking ahead to that game, like you said, we're not going to overlook starting in Atlanta, but when we talk about Miami, we feel that on paper, like we have the ability to do what we want to do this season. That's win every single game. So when we think about Miami, obviously it's going to be exciting. Playing at Miami, playing in Hard Rock Stadium, but we're just going to take care of business. We're going to do what we need to do. We're going to watch film. We're going to game plan. We're going to go through all those steps. But we plan on coming down Miami, and it's a business trip. So
Mm-hmm.
plan on taking care of business. And playing for me, being back home, I'm obviously excited about it, but like I said, don't want to, get too caught up in the
Mm-hmm.
being home. Like it's business for me, it'll be great being home, but my mentality is like we're there for a specific reason, and that's what we got to do what we got to do.
Man, you're a true freshman. You sounded like a fourth, fifth year senior, man. The way you just
Yes, sir.
articulate it. You're talking about how it's a business trip. So, but I love the mindset. Is that just, I mean, how did you develop that mindset? I know that's a question you probably can't answer directly, but what led up to being so mature at this early stage of your career?
I mean, I would just say, having a good relationship with my dad. Obviously we joke, but like, he's always, been honest with me growing up. So I feel like if I could see a man be honest with me and just be genuine with me, I feel like like that little kid stuff, I don't really have room for it. So,
Mhm,
obviously, like it's good to be let loose and joke around sometimes. But like when it comes to this football business, like I said, I mean we're all investments. There's a lot of
mhm,
money being put in us, a lot of
mhm.
energy and prayers being put in us. So we got a responsibility, and that's I truly feel that way.
Absolutely. Well said. Well said. All right, Sebastian. One thing that stood out about you when you committed was your size, and you kind of mentioned it earlier that the frame. But you seem already ready to play at the collegiate level, at least from a the stature standpoint, a physicality standpoint. So, what's that current height and weight, and what's your desired playing weight?
So right now I'm 6'5", 225, and just want to keep like
6'5",
we're
225.
yes sir,
Wow. So you've
yes sir.
grown since high school because I think you were listed as 6'4", 215, somewhere in there.
Yeah, 6'5", 225 is what the measurements are. So, obviously, just want to keep eating, can't, get into the season and lose weight, blocking the defensive ends and linebackers. So, just want to keep eating, keep taking care of my body, just keep getting stronger and looking a little bit for into the future, but, continue to gain weight and get stronger.
Mhm. And obviously, you're in a college strength and conditioning program. That's going to play a huge factor into that goal for you. So just talk about Coach Beath and this college strength and conditioning program.
So the strength and conditioning, it's been obviously, of course, it's an increase from high school, just from a conditioning standpoint and pushing your body and even taking care of your body. But a Coach Beef, like it's a time and a place for everything. Like like he likes to have his fun too. So we understand, like when it's time to have fun in the weight room, and turn up in the weight room and have that good energy. Like we'll do that, and then when it's time, hit the weights and really strain and get after it. Like we'll do that too. So I think there's that good balance of having fun and getting after it. So time and place for everything.
No doubt, no doubt. So what's your major?
So I'm majoring in business finance.
Okay. After your playing days, what would you like to do with that? What do you see yourself doing in life?
I mean, I don't really know what it is. Yeah, I mean, I really haven't thought past my playing days yet, but I mean, I'm pretty sure, one day I'll have some time to think into that. But right now, I'm all in on football right now, if I'm being completely honest with you.
Oh, no doubt about it, man. I get it. I feel you. I feel you. As you should. As you should. Good
Yes,
stuff,
sir.
man. All right. So, message for the fans. What would you like to say to the fans who are all listening?
Oh, coming for that three-peat. Coming for that three-peat.
Just that simple, huh?
Yes, sir. I mean, they know what it is. We're
They know.
starting in Atlanta, finishing in Atlanta. So, like I said, I haven't gotten one yet, but I mean, I want my first one, and that'll be my first one would be the three-peat. So, I mean,
No doubt.
it's exciting. Yes, sir.
All right. And for the fans who aren't following you on social media, where can they find you?
I'm on Twitter and my Instagram is Sebastian underscore St. Louis, and then my Instagram is Sebastian underscore St. Louis, and my Twitter is Sebastian and then Saint 10. So
All right. There you have it.
yes,
The
sir.
man himself, freshman tight end, expecting some huge things from him over the course of his career at I Love Jack State University, Mr. Sebastian St. Louis. Thank you for coming on the
Yes,
show.
yes, sir. Appreciate you having me.
All right. Go Tigers. Guard the yard.
Yes, sir.
Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club is presented by Bet Online.